Traffic accidents are always lurking on every road we travel. No one can guarantee complete safety, because unexpected situations can happen at any moment, situations impossible to handle, forcing even the most experienced drivers to lose their lives forever. And yet, N encountered such a situation during her very first time behind the handlebars. Her full name is NTNN, Dharma name NH, born in 1992, living in CL, KH province. She grew up in a Buddhist family and had followed her mother in Buddhist practice since childhood for many years. Throughout her life, she had also witnessed many miraculous responses through Buddha recitation. More than 10 years ago, one day, N and her mother arranged their work and rode together on the family motorbike to CH to visit her maternal relatives. At that time, N still did not know how to ride a motorbike, so her mother was driving. Their Honda Wave smoothly traveled along a flat road before eventually reaching the TH section. Unlike the previous roads, this area had just been newly paved with asphalt leading into a village road. Nothing remarkable would have happened if N had not suddenly become excited about learning to ride right on this freshly paved road. Coincidentally, her mother agreed immediately, even though N had never driven before. So N climbed onto the front seat while her mother moved to the back. For the first time, sitting in the driver's position feels so cool. N thought to herself as she straightened her back properly, gripping the throttle with both hands. Her face tried to look professional, though somewhat stiff and cautious. Professional sounded impressive, but in truth, her mother had already started the engine and set the gear. N's only job was to sit on the bike, twist the throttle, and go. Nervous yet excited, N began practicing while carrying her mother behind her. The bike moved slowly but steadily. Oh, so riding a motorbike isn't that difficult after all. N secretly felt delighted with what she believed was her surprisingly decent driving ability. Normally, she had the habit of reciting the Buddha's name whenever she sat on the back seat, but today, because she was concentrating on driving, she forgot to recite. Only her mother, sitting behind her, quietly continued reciting Buddha's name while reminding N how to steer along the way. N drove slowly and steadily on the smooth asphalt road. Her face showed great enjoyment in her role as the driver, until suddenly her expression changed completely. Eyes wide and mouth agape, N was shocked to see an extremely steep downhill slope directly ahead. To the naked eye, the slope looked almost vertical. Worse still, it twisted into a dangerously sharp curve. In that brief moment, N noticed a bicyclist ahead speeding downhill faster than a motorbike without even pedaling. She suddenly realized the terrifying danger awaiting her inexperienced hands. Gathering all her courage, N drove straight down the steep slope. The bike sped rapidly downhill, and they safely made it halfway down. N regained some composure compared to the moment she first saw the slope. But before she could fully relax, something shocking appeared before her eyes. Before she could even process it, her mother screamed from behind, "My daughter! A herd of cows! Move away! Hit the brakes!" Oh no! The motorbike was racing downhill when they suddenly encountered a herd of nearly 20 cows crossing the road. The cows wandered unpredictably, each moving in different directions without any order at all. Even if N reacted quickly, she had no idea where to steer to avoid them. Her mother shouted for her to brake. Right. Why hadn't N thought of that? But how do you brake? N had never learned that part, and her mother had forgotten to teach her before letting her drive. Panic overwhelmed both mother and daughter. Her mother instinctively recited the Buddha's name loudly and urgently, as though it echoed all the way to the heavens. Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha. By then, N had completely lost her composure. The louder her mother shouted, the more panicked she became. Unconsciously, she twisted the throttle even harder, and when they were less than 2 meters away from the cows. Crash! The motorbike flew straight into the body of a confused cow standing in front of them. Perhaps the impact was too violent, because both mother and daughter lost consciousness immediately afterward and knew nothing else. After some time, neither of them knew how long, they slowly regained consciousness. Their heads were dizzy, and when they first opened their eyes, everything before them was dark and blurry. Gradually, their vision became clearer and brighter again. N looked around and realized she had landed inside a pit of sand on an empty patch of land beside the road. Miraculously, it was the only sand pit anywhere nearby. Everywhere else around it was filled with large jagged rocks, gravel, thorny weeds, cow dung, and foul-smelling trash. Even walking barefoot there would hurt badly, let alone falling onto it at high speed. If N had not landed in that sand pit, even just a hand's width away, she likely would not have survived to wake up again. When she stood up to check herself, amazingly, she had only a few minor scratches on her elbow. Seeing N awaken, nearby villagers rushed over to help her sit up.
I've witnessed many accidents on this slope because of those cows. I've never seen anyone crash here without being taken to the emergency room. It's unbelievable that your family survived. The collision was terrifying, yet you're completely unharmed.
One witness said while helping her up. Only then did N fully regain her senses and immediately look around frantically for her mother. Fortunately, just like N, her mother had also been thrown away by the impact, but had landed directly onto a soft pile of straw amid the rocky, uneven ground. Everyone who witnessed the accident was unable to explain this extraordinary survival. With such a violent crash and the way both women had been thrown so far, survival seemed impossible. The accident happened in the middle of the road, yet both mother and daughter were thrown nearly 20 meters away into the roadside field, landing precisely on a sand pit and a straw pile without serious injuries. No matter how they tried to explain it, the witnesses simply could not understand such unimaginable luck. But for N and her mother, after calming down and reflecting on everything that had happened, they both understood that it was not mere luck. They believed it was thanks to the merit of Buddha recitation throughout the journey, along with their daily Buddhist practice, that they survived the disaster. N's mother was a lifelong vegetarian who chanted sutras and recited the Buddha's name every day. N herself was also diligent in practicing Buddhism and had escaped death through Buddha recitation on several occasions before. Truly, Buddhism had given N a second life.